IVM.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Wow, that disclaimer, 46 seconds. I'm going to bring it down to 44. I think 46 is too long. But let me just quickly say this. It's finally happened. No need to run today. Today we have to follow the fate that's in store for all of us. And many cultures have talked about this, but now finally America, the leading comic culture in the world, at least according to people who live in South America, they've outdone themselves. And the question we ask here in India is, should Indian comics and anchors be slapped? Yes or no? At the moment, I've done my own personal poll. We have 83% saying yes and 17% saying no. I myself am going for a yes. But who should be slapped more? What kind of slap should be used? What is the point where a slap will be allowed? To discuss all these questions and more, we have an erudite panel, the best there is.
Have you ever wondered where the business world is headed? How the ways in which we create, market and sell to consumers will evolve? Or if we'll ever go back to wearing pants while working? For answers to all of this and more, tune into Advertising is Dead with me, Varun Dugirala. Every Tuesday, as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders and change makers from across business, media, marketing and beyond. You can catch all episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IVM Podcast website, app or wherever you get your podcast from.
Okay, honestly, we couldn't find people. But Gauri was in the studio and she's going to join us very quickly. There she is, Gauri. But Gauri, comedy, your food and business is your expertise in a sense. You're a refined lady. I've got these two stalwarts, two morons like myself who belong to our stratosphere more. So let's see what their verdict is on this. So we've got two, let me quickly mention, we've got two things, right, Silverie? You're the anchor.
Yep.
The one who will be slapped by the end of this program.
Sure. Oh, damn it. What? No. I take it back.
You're the comedian. You're the comedian.
Yeah, exactly. Any jokes about my wife, you watch it, okay? Because once she leaves the room, I'll give you a signal. Then say what you want. In fact, I encourage you. But right now,
when it comes to your wife, Cyrus, anchor should be slapped. Yes. No, sorry. I'm just saying sorry.
You're saying all the right things.
Sorry.
But let's get to the second part of our presentation today, which is more fun, which is Gauri's restaurant, The Table, or as we say in Marathi, The Table. Just for safety, I'm saying you live in Mumbai and they want Devanagari and this and that. So I like to keep people happy. So this is no disrespect.
Yeah.
Table, Tedbal, and then Table is ranked in the top 100 restaurants of the world, which is fantastic.
Of Asia. I love the world.
No, Asia is the world because the Putin is ending the rest. So, Putin is closing down the rest.
Well,
so Asia is
more than half the world's population is in Asia, so it's fine. Yeah.
There you go. And once you cross towards North Korea and then the Japani area and that kind of area is all a little suspect. And then we got Russia and boom, no pun intended. So listen, Gauri, don't make fun. It's huge. 85 in the words of Donald Trump.
This is a list. This is a list called Top 50 Restaurants in Asia.
Who do you know?
But it's a list of 100 restaurants. And Table made it within the first 100, which is amazing. In all of Asia, there must be like millions and millions of restaurants. And to be in the top 100 of that is just amazing. I'm sure for any restaurant.
No, and the fact of the matter is, how many of us in our lives will come close to achieving 85th position in Asia and any bloody
anything.
thing? I'm not even the 85th funniest guy in my building. I mean, it's that bad.
The watchman, the lift guy.
Let's put it in perspective and reflect on it.
So you're safe from being slapped, right? Basically, yeah.
Well, not really. There's the public audience. There's also the private audience. Slaps will be there. We'll come to that. Shall we go into Gauri's story first, Silverie?
Yes, absolutely. Gauri, please. Okay. Congratulations, firstly. Huge congrats.
Thank you. Listen, it's huge. We've had a pretty rough few years, and this came as a shock. And I have to tell you how I found out. So the email announcement actually went to our reservations email, which I don't check, and clearly neither does my manager, because It was
But you
about a week
shouldn't.
later
There's a
when I
reservation
happened
desk.
to be. Yeah, I mean, like, who sends reservations by email, right? Anyway, so it was a week later, and me being the sort of OCD person that I am, I was checking through. I have about 7 email addresses on my phone, and this was just one. I was bored, clearly run out of conversation.
One
with my
second, I'm just
husband,
noting
and,
that possibly you're having an affair, because that's the first thing that comes to
yeah,
mind when
possibly.
people have
Yeah.
7 to 8 emails.
That's the big
Yeah.
takeaway from this. But anyway,
Yes.
That just
and I
makes it
came
even more
across this.
impressive to have an affair
Yeah,
and
well,
make it to the top
And
100.
make it.
But
Wow.
I
it's an,
know,
it's an
I'm
alpha approach.
multitasking,
You know,
dude.
the alpha person has that ability to do well in everything, including cheating. You know, it's really true. Sorry, Gauri, go on.
Exactly. So anyway, not to take away from the moment, I
Sorry.
I saw
Abbas.
this email, which actually was for something completely unrelated. It said that, oh, maybe you'd like to enter this. I'm sure you've received the email letting you know that you're somewhere in the 51 to 100 list. And by the way, there's also this happening. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? And then obviously I went and checked all the domain names from the email address that this email had come from, because I was like, is this some kind of a bad joke ahead of April? Because, hey, comedians are
Oh yeah, correct. Just in time for
thing,
April. Yeah,
so,
correct.
yeah. I was like, this is obviously some hoax. It doesn't happen this way. We've been sitting on our ass for like the last few years. Why would this suddenly have happened? I checked everything. It seemed legit. I sent them an email back saying, no, I didn't get the first email. Can you send it back to me? And then voila. There it was.
Oh.
So Gauri, how's it done? Do they send people to the restaurant? Is it more like data collection?
I
kind of
guess.
thingy?
No, so they basically have a jury of like, I think 300 or 400 people for the continent, and you never know when they've come to dine. But
That's
they
fantastic then.
have-
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It genuinely is. This is why it's such a huge deal, guys, because it's legit. It's properly unpaid for, legit happiness and pure joy.
Not that you're against paying.
coming
I
our
mean,
way.
paying is also good if there was an option.
If I could afford it after the last 2 years, that would be tricky. But yeah, it would have been different.
Indian
But,
restaurateur going, 200 में मिलेगा क्या rate? Like I'm just thinking, 100 में नहीं हो पाएगा, 200
Yeah.
में होगा. हाँ.
So that also wouldn't have been affordable. But anyway, but yeah, it happened, and so they've come. I guess people have come, and then there's a voting process, and then it's all audited by Deloitte.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the
Big
one,
Four.
probably the
The Big
least
Four.
scandalous of the big four firms. But yeah, so it's
Oh, okay.
completely vetted and thoroughly audited, checked, blah blah. Yeah, so it feels good, man.
So now do you raise the rates? It's like when you win the Oscar, which will come to as well. You can ask for
Immediately,
more
yes.
Now
money
I
in
also
the next film.
we've also started checking our emails now, because the reservations might
You
just
must have
come
missed
in.
a few.
And
You
Yeah.
only did 51 last year and you don't even know.
yeah, we were like, guys, put that email address on your phone. Like, don't check it once a week anymore. And no, it's good. It's good. I don't know about raising prices quite yet, but it's.
But it'll be a
step
great-
in the
It's
right
coming.
It'll be
It's
great.
coming. So go now to table before the price is changed.
And Gauri, for God's sake, also put in your brochures chairs. A lot of Indians, when they see table, they think there's no seating. It's just, there's a table and people are eating like horses. So you have to be a little
Listen,
specific,
I get
think.
furniture requests and orders on
can
Instagram all the
imagine.
time. And I'm like, did you just go straight to messaging? Did you not even bother to see any of the photographs on the page?
Oh
So,
God!
yeah.
So when your customer orders a reservation and says, "Ki I want a table for 4," he really wants a table. Comes
Listen,
there.
we have Magazine
Rosewood.
Street, and we keep getting asked if we can
Yep.
if people can be featured in our magazine. And I'm like, it's a kitchen, but
I get
sure.
it. Yeah.
So yeah,
Of course.
clearly naming is not my strong point. So yeah.
But coming back to the whole thing, is a real sense of confidence, I suppose, right? Because it's a big name, a neutral body, a neutral sort of situation. No strings have been pulled at all. So there's a sense of validation,
No,
is it
look,
not,
it's
for
a
the effort?
huge. There are 7 restaurants in the 51 to 100 list from India, which is huge. It's the first that there's so many, and tomorrow they announce the 1 to 50. So if anyone's interested, tune in tomorrow evening on World's 50 Best Instagram, and you'll find out the top 50 restaurants in Asia, where I'm no doubt there will be more rep from India happening. But it is huge, because like you said, it's firstly, completely clean process, but also we've just finished 11 years in January, and we're thrilled that we're still standing, honestly. And then after 11 years to get this kind of recognition is a big deal for us. So I'm thrilled, and kudos to our team, man.
You're getting congratulations from everybody who's willing to put money into your next venture. By the way, I think the restaurant franchise in Ukraine you've put on hold for now. I think that's not the right time for that.
But in Russia, she's going ahead.
Russia, their queues outside.
Guys, I'm not even indulging in this. I'll probably get like hate messages tomorrow.
We'll get slapped. We'll get slapped. Now the new thing is you don't like the joke
slap. You get slapped.
Yeah.
The list is already out. They can't do anything now.
It's like Will Smith at the Oscars. He had already won. Okay, let's just.
I know. Let's talk about the more exciting award, right, guys? It's award season, and how?
Yes.
Well, tomorrow is the live awards for the restaurants, and I'm just hoping there's no slapgate happening there. But yeah, dude.
But now it has to. It kind of has to.
But it's a very
if we want to remember
line,
the show.
Gauri. All said and done, I can imagine that these things that people are going out of their way to use the internet to bring people down or boost people up all the time, because it's so cutthroat competitive, and so now every day. You keep getting recommendations. It's in like a 4 or 5 hour window almost, where the thing gets a name and sometimes disappears as well.
No, totally. It's huge. It's I think that it just shows if you stay consistent, stay focused, you never know who's watching and who's eating in our case. So
God, you sound like the young Sunil Gavaskar. Boy, stay focused, watch the ball, something like that. Now you need a brand ambassador. Silverie, she'll need a brand ambassador for table because it's going places. So Abbas
Cyrus, it ain't gonna be you. So don't angle for it.
Kunal is
I want to go for your business. Kunal, no. Kunal's too lazy. They need something more agile. I like Abbas. Abbas is like a fitter Kunal.
I'm game for it. Yes.
Abbas is just happy you called him fitter in any comparison.
Yeah. Just before the recording began, Antariksh fat shamed me. So yeah.
I did not. That's not exactly. Wow.
Okay, guys,
let's not put labels on me on this show. Okay.
Yes.
Don't fat shame.
Antariksh is just looking out for me.
Please be careful. If somebody get offended and slap you, don't make fat jokes. Don't make any jokes. Be very careful. In this case, you can segue to Mr. Oscar Pereira. And first, let me, Gauri, where do you stand? Come on, now you be frank here. Do you think that was?
So,
I love.
Okay, no. First, let's introduce. Let's introduce the topic. Everyone's aware of this, but maybe someone listening to it like a year from now, so they should be made re-aware of the topic.
Can't you make a small loop and just play it somewhere in the middle instead of wasting our time with your stupid?
Just play that. No, it's very simple. Will Smith. Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars this year, 2022. It aired just last night, today morning, one of them. And Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Which time zone?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Basically, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, came on stage and slapped Chris Rock after Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. Because she has alopecia, hair loss. But it wasn't.
This is just a story. No, I don't want you to, Yeah, right. Okay.
Now, ain't nobody slapping comedians from
I have no idea if he's taking shots.
Do you guys think it was?
Because you're in another room now.
Do you guys think it was warranted? Let's start with that.
Let Gauri speak first.
Thanks.
I think
just throw me in there.
These two guys are big Will Smith fans, and also there'll be a little partiality, I presume.
Yeah.
Also, Chris Rock.
No, look, I love the fact that he stood up for her, and I think it was pretty shitty of whoever the scriptwriter was for the Oscars to have put that in there. Was it him? I mean, there must be a whole host of them, right?
Yeah. There's like a writing staff and all. Chris wasn't responsible.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, come on, like, are they really that like deaf to just sensitivity and all of that going on? I mean, that it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy that you'd make fun of someone's especially something that is so physically visible and obviously something that someone might be really conscious about. I think that's
which was probably traumatic in their marriage, etc. There's undertones there which we can't see. God knows. Yeah.
But again, Will Smith also laughed first, right? Didn't he laugh at first? And then after seeing
he's gonna laugh
Jada's reaction,
right? And that's
so there's history to this.
You saw Jada's reaction.
Wait, Abbas is both the hair expert and the comedy expert. Go on.
There is history to this, which traces back all the way to 2016. When
I know. How do you feel about it? Like being Would you like it if someone like made fun of you not having
I mean,
hair? Not these two
He
guys.
uses that
but,
in
like,
his stand-up.
on a public
Yeah.
like forum which has like billions of people watching.
Gauri, it's a little different.
but
here.
Abbas doesn't have a medical condition, right? She has a medical
You
condition.
don't know
if I am
that
if
you
I'm
know
at the
of.
Baldness is a
Oscars,
medical condition.
I mean,
it's a
baldness is
genetic
that's
disease.
true. Actually, yes, you're right.
You
Yes,
moron.
correct.
Yeah.
Whoever, that's it. You're out of here.
Hey, can
But
the
she has
bald
like,
guy
I mean, she
speak
has like
now?
serious alopecia or something.
Listen, he's in pain. This
Go ahead.
is a sensitive subject. I'm sorry. Abbas.
No.
Sorry.
See, if
Sorry,
I'm at the
Abbas, you can
Oscars-
be in that movie that Chris Rock said she would be in.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least
G.I.
he's the
Jane.
only,
G.I. Jane.
Antariksh, you're the only one he can actually get up and slap because you're in the same building.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Yeah, correct. Yeah, okay.
Get it.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
No, but I was saying that the history traces back to 2016 when Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett had boycotted because there was the whole Oscars so white campaign going on. So in solidarity with the African American artists, they'd boycotted that year. So in 2016, and this is a dirty joke, so just putting a warning out there. Chris Rock made a joke in his Oscars monologue that Jada Pinkett Smith boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. You weren't invited in the first place, right? So Jada Pinkett Smith has been sort of it's been
She's not a
building
fan.
up. She's not a fan. From what I have heard, that Will Smith and Chris Rock were pretty tight because in the 90s, they were the two biggest African-American figures in their respective fields, right? But, and yeah, like Antariksh mentioned, when he cracks the joke, you can see Will Smith is laughing. Jada Pinkett Smith obviously is not impressed. And then something happened in the second where they cut back to Chris Rock where
he just sees his wife's reaction, bro.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
see that
That's
as well. She was not impressed, and he
But
realizes he has to go back home.
It's a comedian doing his job. At the end of the day, it's a comedian doing his job.
The thing.
The job
Will
is
Smith-
hosting the Oscars.
Will Smith has
and
been a
making
public
jokes.
figure for more than 2 decades. All it takes is that one moment for him to walk up to the Oscar stage and punch someone live on air. I mean, this is someone who is one of the biggest stars in the world.
I'm sorry,
right?
Gauri. I don't agree with this slapping business. It's ridiculous.
I never said I agreed with the slapping. I said that I didn't agree.
Standing up
with
for us is one thing, but then going slapping someone. What is he, Russian? You can just get angry and just do whatever you want.
And my favorite thing was he slaps him, walks back, and then Chris Rock's reply to that was, "Wow, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke." So he's still holding on for his joke. He's like,
then he
I think
berated
he
him
was in
again. I didn't want.
shock.
Yeah, he was clearly in shock. Yes, and then the exchange where he yells,
But he took it like a boss, though. He took it
but
like
then,
a boss. He did not even move. I think Will Smith's
because he
just
was
bad
shook.
at slapping. I think no, Will Smith's just a terrible
think- I think-
slapper.
No,
I think.
but one sec. So then they went to a commercial break, and what I want to know is
37
what
seconds, yeah.
happened then.
Denzel Washington and was it Samuel L. Jackson came and pacified
Will
Smith.
Smith. Somebody, two, three big
Do
men
you think-
came and
Do you think Will
played the
Smith should
referee.
give back his Oscar after that?
Dude, he's partying. There were visuals from the after
I mean,
party
but he shouldn't
where
be.
Will Smith
just
is
punched
dancing
someone,
to
man.
his own songs. Will Smith is dancing with the Oscar to
Yeah,
his
but-
own song.
But Richard Williams himself was known to be quite a taskmaster and a bit, let's say, shades of violence, etc. So I'm okay, as he mentioned
Which is
later
what he
on,
said
art
in
imitating life.
the speech. Yes,
But
which
I'm
was-
coming back to the whole thing is whether he's Will Smith or Putin or some of these lovely leaders in India. You can't raise your hand, bro. That crosses the line. Until then,
Absolutely.
I think.
That's absolutely.
And honestly, if Pete Davidson can make fun of his father dying in 9/11 or whatever, I mean, at some level, these are rich, successful people. Surely she's dealt with what's it called?
Also,
alopecia.
I think someone just pointed out in the comments also this, but I had heard this that apparently so there was a rehearsal also, right? So these people are aware of the jokes that are made about them in the rehearsal also. So if you knew the joke was coming, you could have either raised the point beforehand, "Okay, dude, I have a problem with this joke. Let's
The
not go ahead
audience
with
is not there in the rehearsal.
She may have been there. The nominees may have been there. She may not have been there. So
Yeah.
it
Okay,
didn't
she may
occur to him then. Then he suddenly realized, oh God, I have to go back home and face my wife.
Yeah.
Then do the right thing. So choose Chris Rock as your lover or Jada Pinkett Smith, and then he went for her.
But still,
Big
you can't slap. You absolutely shouldn't
You can't
slap.
slap.
How can you slap?
You can slap in
how
India
can you slap?
or Pakistan, but this shouldn't really happen.
But still, yeah, not in the biggest stage of the world is one of the biggest
And
award
that's
show is
Will Smith,
Oscars.
one of our favorites. He's a regular guy, one of those guys he's a comic himself, a rapper. I mean, I felt betrayed. I was like, you become one
I
of
think
those
actually-
right-wing, physically intimidating.
So I think actually what is happening, it's one of those, we know this has been talked about previously on this show also and on other shows that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have like one of those open marriages kind of thing. So I think what is happening is that Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith are secretly in a love affair, and Will Smith found out in those 2 seconds that Jada
Oh,
Pinkett Smith
oh,
was not
oh,
impressed.
Will Smith, Will
You're like,
Smith
"What?
and
Oh,
Chris
okay.
Rock are having a love affair. I think that's
Yeah,
what
that's
I think.
possible.
Oh, and that's the spite. Oh, okay. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth, but put my name in there.
Yeah. No, there's
That's
also the F word. The
That's
F word.
what.
Unless
That's
the
what
children
I
are
said.
watching.
Yeah.
I had to cover my mother's ears. She's a big Oscar fan, and she was turning blue. She's never heard this word. South Bombay, nobody uses it. It's amazing.
I
So,
think Will Smith is having a meltdown, like in general, in his
I
life.
think the
Oh.
pressures of the marriage came to the forefront. That's what I felt. There was he behaved. There's a lot of anxiety in that moment, which has got a lot
Cyrus.
of baggage attached to it. As a psychiatrist, someone who studied the human form,
No,
shape,
but that
and
doesn't
mind,
explain the delayed reaction.
it wasn't really delayed. The cue that tripped him was more the wife. I felt. See, as they said, he just sort of smiled. If you see that, if you can play that bit, it's not very long.
Yeah.
He smiles at the line and laughs along with the audience. Then he looks at her, and she's not impressed at all.
Yeah.
She's got
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Yeah,
seriously
yeah. She rolled her
like,
eyes. Yeah.
he rolled her eyes kind of expression. At which point he decided he impulsively saw that pain or whatever, and then whatever flashback in a Hindi film way of her crying, their marriage being in tatters for 10 years at home or whatever. And then he decides to go to slap poor Chris Rock, who didn't even write the joke. I think I don't even remember this joke. Next thing you know, slap. Yeah. Well,
I don't know. It felt like the joke was actually Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz joke, but the joke he made before that.
was a good
Yeah.
joke though.
That if one, yeah, and then
Yeah.
the
But they
G.I.
both
Jane
laughed.
joke seemed a little
Yeah, yeah.
like a throwaway joke that he just made. Also,
Okay.
Jada, I love you, but G.I. Jane too. G.I. Jane in
Yeah.
the movie, the central character is a bald woman. So yeah, it
Hmm.
seemed like a throwaway joke. I don't know if it was even done in the rehearsals. I don't know.
I think we should just have this Oscar award show with Penelope, whatever her name is, Cruz, and have Indians say her name. I remember doing a show with Siddharth Kannan where he said Penelope and then live on stage.
Yeah.
And
Of
you
course.
can't
Of course.
yeah.
As long as it doesn't call her a pineapple, I think it's good.
I mean, after Penelope, there's no point. There's nowhere to go. It's just.
Well, at
horrible.
least the good thing is it's I think it's trumped that last one where they called out the wrong movie,
The wrong name.
as the winner. Yeah.
The last before
Wasn't
last.
that,
Yeah.
wasn't that like 2
No,
years
that
ago where
was 2 years ago. Last
Last
year,
the
before
best
last.
film was
the best
Yeah.
film was La La Land, and the best film was
Oh,
Moonlight.
sorry, Bakra. Can do this again. Yeah.
Last year, it was more embarrassing where they kept the best actor category as the final one because they thought Chadwick Boseman would win, and he recently passed away. And then he didn't, and Anthony Hopkins won, and then the presenter awkwardly had to be like, I accept this award on behalf of Anthony Hopkins because it was COVID and he couldn't travel. So yeah, they've had these fuck ups for the last couple of years. But it's good entertainment.
But I mean, they have to have some scandal every year. No, what will they do?
I felt he pulled his slap. Now let's discuss slaps. As a person taking a lot of slaps in my life, I'm a master of the whole slap approach and getting slapped. I felt he pulled his punch slightly. It was more like an open-handed, punchy slap, and it was you pull it while you're acting, so you don't hurt the person too much.
He
pull it.
So
as
there is a famous slap,
trained-
another Christmas slap that has happened before this also. There was
which one?
some red carpet event. Okay, there was a paparazzo on the side of the road who was basically like, this paparazzi guy is known for getting a little too touchy with the celebrity or like kissing the celebrity on the cheek and all. Okay,
listen, the
So
paparazzi
this
get
celebrity-
slapped all the time.
yeah, correct. But like Will Smith himself has done this before. Like, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
No, but
Yeah, yeah.
I have another
No,
question.
this paparazzi.
You mentioned
Yeah.
the word paparazzo. Now, what is the paparazzo vis-a-vis the paparazzi?
Gender
Can you explain
agnostic.
No, paparazzo is one singular. Paparazzi is the paparazzi as like
Paparazzi.
mafiosi.
The,
is
the
paparazzi.
community at large.
Like,
Oh,
I thought that's what the norm is.
so it's a
also. I thought that's
Sicilian
what-
name, since that's the reference. Good to know.
Yeah, correct. Yes. Let's figure it out.
That we found out.
I just
No,
want to
no,
say
no,
that
this-
Will Smith trained for as a boxer for playing Muhammad Ali, so he knows his chops when it comes to.
But he also
punching
trained
and
as a stand-up
slapping.
comedian who opened for Dave Chappelle in one show. So
Oh,
he
really?
should also understand jokes. Yeah.
He
So
was
that's
Mr.
no way.
Cool. I think his coolness factor has gone out of the window with this
Also
one
played a
incident.
police officer in Bad Boys. Would he have killed Chris Rock?
Yeah, but I think they should call the movie Men in Black Moods. This will explain the whole situation now.
oh.
Yeah. I think
Do
he's
you
gonna lose a little
think
equity.
this will make his career skyrocket again, or will it be detrimental to his
I don't know.
career?
You're too big a star for it to be to affect
Yeah, I
the
think it
career.
doesn't matter.
Personally, if you ask
Dude
me.
already
But
won the Oscar same night. I don't think it makes a difference to him at all.
But stand-up
Okay,
comedians
so
all across the
speaking
world.
of men who are
will be having a
clearly
field day.
screwing up, can we please talk about Dipinder Goyal and his announcement about 10-minute deliveries on Zomato? Clearly, like
Yes,
men are
absolutely.
not having
That
their
was
brightest
a
moments.
Wow.
wonderful
Very
segue.
wicked.
Segway Hall of Fame.
You set up the
Yeah.
batsman. You took your time. Really caught us all on the wrong foot here. We were talking about ouch! What a nice connection. Please go ahead.
All you men, what do you think of that? Since you put me on the.
So now,
So I think for
the point
consumers,
is the entire
it's
gender-
First, Antariksh,
Please.
explain it.
Okay. So basically, Zomato has announced that they're going to start 10-minute deliveries. So everyone, when they announced this, was like, how is that possible? How will you guarantee fresh food? How will you make sure that 10-minute deliveries? Are you just going to put endless pressure on your delivery people to say break traffic laws and reach on
I can
time? How
explain
are you
that.
going to do this?
Can I explain that?
Yes, Cyrus. go ahead.
There's a theory. Now they'll send 2 guys on the bike. So when the first guy dies, the other guy can continue. I think that makes sense.
That's
I
double the
thought you were
amount
gonna
of food.
say. I thought you were gonna say that 2 guys, one guy's riding and the other guy's cooking while he's riding.
Oh, okay. That also could
Or they
be.
come to your house, Gauri, and make
Yeah.
it there. They just bring
Make
the
it there,
ingredients.
yeah. 10 मिनट में हम लोग तो पहुंच गए 10 मिनट में
Oh,
खाना
exactly.
नहीं याद रहेगा. But no. So because of that, they've been getting a lot of flack. How will you make this possible? Zomato has come up with like a plan. They are saying, no, we have planned this out. What we're going to do is the most popular items from restaurants will be the ones that will be kept ready as part of this 10-minute delivery menu list. So say like, I imagine like the biryanis and the most popular
Yeah, but,
burgers from
Silverie,
like McDonald's.
oh,
But
let's
kept
ask
ready
Gauri.
where? Like in the building basement of every building?
Okay, that is a good question. You're right.
No, so that one thing is,
I don't
That's
know.
the only
If-
question.
But kept ready. No, it'll be kept ready. So what I imagine is what Zepto does, right? Zepto has like a go down where they the most commonly ordered items are kept ready in that go down. So as soon as that order for that item comes in, they are
Those
sent.
items aren't prepared.
it's not
fresh.
a one
I know.
restaurant thing.
Products. That's like.
So wouldn't
that's
it would have to be
FMCG
something similar?
products, not cooked food.
So it would have to be
One-
something
one
similar
second.
for Zomato. How else would it be possible to have?
only
It's a
way
1 to 2
anything
kilometer
is if
radius,
you connect
and
the city
somehow I don't know.
with the metro, and people can reach people in 3 or 4 minutes, which is not possible physically, logistically, at least in cities like Mumbai. I don't know about every part of India.
So
Gauri,
what?
can you explain?
Yeah. So what they're saying. Again,
coastal
just quickly.
road.
Sorry, before Gauri, what they're saying is that for this 10-minute delivery thing, the rider would be restricted to an area 1 to 2 kilometers at a maximum. And like for instance, the 30-minute thing is at a radius of 5 to 6 kilometers. The
I
30-minute
challenge
delivery
them to go from Malad to Marve with my delivery, which is actually only 2 kilometers. Okay, and I challenge them to come in 10 minutes. I challenge them.
Correct.
And if the
So it won't
motorcyclist
apply to
doesn't
some
kill
places.
himself,
This is what it is.
dies under his own bike, he tells a passerby to get on the bike and drive over him. I'm telling you, that's the thing that will happen. Traffic is that
Listen,
bad.
they won't even make it from Lucky Biryani to the IVM office in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a terrible name.
Silence.
Then.
No, my question
But
is, so what happens if they don't reach in 10 minutes? Then do they get refunded?
Nothing.
What
They're
happens?
saying they won't find their delivery
It's not
executives.
Domino's,
what they're
dude.
saying.
It's
Yeah,
Zomato.
Abbas, you really
You get a
saying.
exploit
refund.
the-
Even if you don't get the
No,
food,
see.
you won't get a refund. Let alone if
What
you
a
get
great
it
Indian
late.
consumer.
I
People
miss the
support saying,
days.
What is this nonsense?
I miss the days
11
when you
minutes
called
for
the
waiting,
restaurant. You called the
Abbas-
restaurant. The guy said, "Ladka nikal gaya." You should take him on his faith. Ke haan nikal gaya.
Nikhil,
I miss those days.
Yeah.
That is true.
On the way.
Dude,
But
so
Abbas,
I don't know if you've noticed
would
this.
you be
So, like
malicious and would you
Zomato and all.
hold the lift on your floor
Huh?
to make sure he
Yeah.
crosses 10 minutes to make sure that he can't get the lift?
No,
Things like that.
I won't.
You press
You know
all the
that.
buttons.
We've
Well,
thought
now that
these-
you've
these
given,
things
now that
yeah.
you've given me the
Right.
idea.
He can fight back.
No, but it's but the apps also become smarter. No, it's to your gate. You're building a gate. It's not to your actual doorstep. The delivery time.
Oh, so
I don't
the
think
gate,
that's gonna
gate
change
to gate
things
to flat,
much.
gate to
Yeah,
That
but
was
in a
fine.
gate-
time is
That
not.
was fine. Yeah.
Gauri, in a
It will
gated
be like a
community, that
2-minute,
makes a lot of
3-minute.
sense because
Yeah,
that
what
takes
if-
a
what
long
if-
time for
Yeah.
delivery through the
What if my
various
building doesn't
protocols.
have a gate? What if it's
Okay,
just
Abbas,
Then
it's hard
Who
times
are you,
now.
man? Sorry, I feel
One
bad.
day
for
you'll
man.
have a nice, huge
What else?
mansion with Will Smith as your neighbor on one
Yeah.
side.
He'll come
is your
every morning and
wife
slap
here?
you.
Okay, I want to just ask Gauri to pitch in on this one, since she's the one who's got a dog in the race, in a sense, on the fight. Gauri, why would he say it if he can't do it? I mean, that's really dangerous, right?
Because, as I
PR-wise.
said right in the beginning, more men doing nonsensical things. I'm sorry to be. No, I'm being mean because I'm the only girl
But do you
here,
think the
That's
table
fine.
would participate
None
in
of us
this?
are fans of
listen,
men.
it's not the first time. It's not the first time he's said something that makes absolutely no sense. Sorry,
It's a PR
Mr.
stunt.
Goyal, but
Just being a braggart. What is the point here?
Also,
I
one more
just
thing I should
think it's a
clarify before we
little
go
bit
ahead
of-
is
yeah.
Antariksh, why
one more
you
thing to
acting
clarify,
like
sorry.
a Zomato spokesperson? It's like,
no. I'm
Excuse
just
me,
saying
no.
this is
And
No,
he's like that.
we
He's
should
like
announce that
professor,
this is
who's
a
trying to
pilot.
find his one
They're
point all
saying-
the time. Oh.
No, what Zomato
This
has
is a
said is
pilot
that
which
this
they're
is,
saying has
yeah, that
already
they'll
been
try.
rejected in the city.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
in
where?
a
It
lot
doesn't
of
matter if it's a
cities.
pilot. Like
Yeah.
it's dangerous to do it. And the
That's
riders
true,
are freaking out because they get penalized. So he's lying because he said that they don't get penalized. And the riders are like, well, we actually do get penalized. And you know what? We see this happen. So we see when someone places an order, and in the case of our bakery, right, the product is ready. So we could potentially do the 10-minute thing, but 10 minutes apart, the product's ready and the rider hasn't reached, but they'll click on the app saying that they've already reached and the parcel's not ready, because obviously they get penalized for being late. So if we say the food's ready and the rider's not there, the rider gets penalized. And if the rider says he's there and the food's not ready, we get penalized. So it's and we've seen this happen so many times. So it's all
It's all part of the
complete
Indian
BS.
code.
Yeah.
But I'm worried if I see a guy, one of these guys on their bikes, and they're rushing to reach, and there's an old lady crossing, really old lady, and they have to make a decision, split second, hit her and reach on time, or avoid her and then obviously not reach on time. They hit her and then find out later that she was the one who ordered, so they could have actually just given her the bag. But I mean, these kind of stories are going to play out and make us cry as human beings. Silverie.
But it's her fault, yeah. It's her
It is
fault.
her fault.
Who
She was
orders
trying to
food
save
home and then
life,
goes
and
out of the house?
milk of human
What?
kindness. She
That
wanted to
doesn't
help
make sense.
him not get penalized. So she came down to save time for him. This is what
Yeah,
happens.
okay.
Comedy of errors. Really sad story. Oof.
Well,
I think we should
only
take
in
a break
India.
and digest
Okay.
that, because 10 minutes. Wow. Imagine.
Well,
But that's going to change the world. If someone could pull that off in food, then everybody will expect everything in 3 minutes and 4 minutes. Why the hell am I waiting for my cable operator to come and fix one wire which nobody uses in the building? 2 days have passed. And when the Wi-Fi goes down in Malabar Hill, nobody can find who the person is to help. It's amazing. Should we take a quick break?
yes, please. Let's make a break.
All right. And when we come back, an open interview with Will Smith. Why he did it, how he did it. Not the slap. Marrying Jada Pinkett Smith. Take a break.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus is joined by Utsav Mamoria, host of Postcards from Nowhere, comedian Kajal Srinivasan and Antariksh. In This Cock and Bull, they examine everything from Sri Lanka cancelling exams due to paper and ink shortage to India's rank in the World Happiness Index. Let me tell you about a new show that I'm super excited about. It's called Ek Chuski Finance. It's a finance podcast made for women by financial expert Priyanka Acharya. She simplifies complex financial concepts in an easy-to-learn manner. To top it off, the show is available in 8 languages. Tune in every Tuesday for fresh episodes. On Pesa Vesa, Anupam meets Sandeep Jethwani. Sandeep is the co-founder at Deserve. They talk about how Deserve is creating long-term portfolios for working professionals. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk analyze the findings of the PEW survey on gender roles in Indian society. On the Life Manifesto, Zarina reiterates how important it is for women to uplift other women and shares how they can go about doing so. And on Marathi Kirkitun, the Deshmukhs explore the sixth sense in animals and humans and why it makes them extraordinary. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. Also, remember, we're on YouTube. You can check us out on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube and get a list of all the YouTube channels we have active at this point. I'd also like to make a quick note that we're doing a small listener survey, and it would really help us if you could fill that out. You can go to ivmpodcast.com/survey. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance and India Water Portal. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Yeah, I just want to quickly mention, I won an award this week, Gauri, not just you. It was from the Cheetahs Club of Bhiwandi. They're not like Lions or Leo or affiliated to Rotary or anything. They're separate. And it's under 12-year-olds. And they're really nice. This gave me this bearded Santa-like creature with no body. I think they were trying to imply something. But it was a proud moment for my family, and we all held hands and sang songs. Thank you, Gauri. I just want to, what is the name of the award that we won here, which places you 85th?
Asia's 50 best restaurants, which placed us
Asia's
85th.
50 best. And did you hear, ladies and gentlemen, how she said the word restaurant? without the T. That's your Cathedral School, South Bombay, Ivy League, fucking money coming out of their ears type of people who spit on you.
Which
Bhiwandi
you
and
also
Borivali
went
types.
to, Cyrus Brocha.
But I don't behave like this. Restaurant, Abba. Don't say the
So
last.
you should ask
Don't
for
say
your
the last
money
letter of
back
every
from
word.
school.
It wasn't that expensive in our time. It's now become ridiculous all over, including the IBs. I think it was like normal. All the schools at the same sort of rate. As far as I remember, it
That's
wasn't.
why you turned out this way. Now they're actually
Yeah, I think
investing
so.
in the
Yeah.
students.
Yeah, just anybody walked in those days, back in the day. All right. So 85th,
Listen,
fantastic in
thanks for
Asia.
introducing my show in the ad break, dude. Not.
What? It wasn't there?
It wasn't there.
Then let's talk to
I'm
Ami.
never coming on your
Because Ami
show
is
again. I know.
Okay,
Ami, if you're listening.
I'll put it up. I'll put it up. I'll put it up right now. Let's
Wait,
go
the
into
Voice of
another ad break,
America-
Cyrus.
The
And
Voice
do
of
just
America
this
is
round is
ad
on me. And do just this round is on me ad.
me.
That's it. Yeah.
Someone's going to get a slap today. Be very careful.
No.
What can you imagine now?
should we get
Will
to-
Smith at a restaurant. Everybody's going to be eating out of his hands. Nobody wants to get hit. They'll be like, waiter, yes, sir. Immediately, wherever, parking attendant, yes, sir, car ready. Oof. He's going to get butchered by the comedians, Abbas. They're
But,
going to go after him.
Chris Rock has refused to press charges though.
He can't press charges. They're all one plan
Because
at the end
he
of the
knows
day.
Will Smith will get internet trolls aplenty after this anyway.
No, but
It's
the
already become
internet
a meme,
seems
by
to
the
be
way.
more
It
on the
already
side of Chris
happened.
Rock.
It's already becoming. Yeah, they're on
No,
they're on Chris Rock's side, no? The internet.
I
mostly
should
internet
think
Most of
so.
them.
At the end of the day, it's a
Yeah.
physical assault where he could have said what he wanted to. He could have insulted him or made a joke or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I suppose the man and his family, that becomes a very touchy subject. Religion, family, these kind of things. I don't
But
understand
wait,
because I have no.
No,
Why
how
would
does
he-
it work for you guys as comedians? Like, you're completely unfiltered normally. So is this going to make you think twice when you go up on the stage?
Yeah, so I just went to Calcutta and nobody was
Can't let
watching.
it.
So it was great. You could say what I want. Plus, they all speak Bengali. So they were like, what he's saying. Everybody was, all over the place. But Silverie, you be careful because you guys do more of the bar work where people drink and misbehave more.
Yeah.
Because those people
Oh,
have
I mean,
themselves on-
Can happen. Yeah.
Things have been, projectiles have come our way many times.
and that's from your family.
Yeah.
Into dentistry. Silverie, answer the
But,
question.
You can't let it affect you too much. You have to be aware of the crowd you're doing in front of. But see, Chris Rock couldn't have predicted this. There's no way to predict some things,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you want?
So
Obviously,
my point is, in India, you just don't have to be worrying about someone coming and hitting you.
you're worried about
They'll hit-
politics.
They'll hit you. They'll file an FIR. They'll send you to jail. They'll end your career. So there's all of that. So
Yeah.
you have to be.
Okay, but here's the
extra
point:
careful.
are the Oscars? They're not a stand-up comedy show, right? So doesn't
but
have
it's
to be
part of the
some
culture,
filter.
No,
come
but
on.
they did hire Chris Rock.
No, it's not.
And when you're
though.
hiring Chris Rock, you're hiring
No, but
Chris
you've
Rock
had so
for a
many
specific
comedians,
reason.
Billy Crystal downwards. I mean, it's
Yeah.
come on, it goes back to that. People who watch
You're
it also
hiring-
watch it for those
Yeah,
moments.
you're hiring a stand-up comedian to do stand-up, right? You're doing to do
What
a
is the talk show
monologue
host,
which has jokes
Italian
heavy.
American fellow? You guys know these names better. Jamie,
Conan?
James.
Jimmy Fallon,
No, the one who-
Jimmy Kimmel,
No, the other one.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Fallon, Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy
Trevor
Kimmel
Noah?
was a couple of
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying next year they're going to go with an Indian comedian. But
Also,
one is the
Ricky
chief minister.
Gervais.
No.
Ricky Gervais is one of the funniest people.
Even
if
this
anyone starts
year-
taking offense, and
Even this year, Wanda
starts
Sykes
coming onto
and
the stage, will slap
Wanda
him.
Sykes and Amy Schumer were hosting the ceremony, so there were comedians hosting this year as well.
No, I get
Chris
it,
Rock,
but it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the purpose isn't the like just doing stand-up comedy, right? It is in the context of the Oscars, and
But then
obviously
it'll be
very,
it'll be even more
I wanna
awkward
make
if
it
Chris Rock just
I
walked
get
out and
Gauri's point.
reads.
You guys are uneducated. You don't understand what she's saying. It's very simple. She's saying it's much bigger than just a stupid comedian making silly jokes.
No, but Cyrus,
more
that's
about
the
the
thing.
best-
Tomorrow, if you walk onto a stage at any award ceremony, we are expecting some laughter, right? You can't just be like, okay, so today I'm going to
Derision,
present this award.
generally, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But-
come to
but
think
it-
of it, you made people stand
Hey,
for a.
Cyrus, didn't you host the restaurant awards? Yeah, the midday
The midday
ones.
thing, yeah, more 2 or 3 times, and then we got the pandemic.
I think
Me
you're
and
ready
Kunal,
for the
we got two
Oscars,
man.
man.
You've ever
Did
seen a
some-
2-man
did some-
Yeah.
where
Did
I do
someone
all the
come on
talking
stage,
and
Cyrus?
Kunal does nothing? Have you never seen that act? It's fantastic. He just stands there, and he's not even pretty. So at the end, we have to ask him. He's not the sex symbol. What the hell is he doing? Yeah, but we did that. But see, I'm sure we pulled lots of people's legs and we may have been a little
Yeah,
here and
we
there.
discussed a
But
couple of weeks ago. You made people stand up for a fake in memoriam section for
yeah, that
someone
kind
who
of thing.
didn't even
But it's not
exist.
still. It's still not in the area of insulting someone's wife, where personal issues happens if you have HIV/AIDS, blah blah
Sure.
blah.
Right,
So
exactly.
Yeah,
I know that
yeah,
people
yeah.
can be, but this is America. These are multi-millionaires, icons of their time. They're huge people, and they all know each other. I just felt it was so unnecessary. He's acting like he's a right-wing political party sycophant in India. Who doesn't know who
Yeah.
Munawar Faruqi is from Adam, but still goes to beat him up because he doesn't like his jokes, which he's not heard. That's a whole different tribe. These are
Yeah.
people from the same
Yeah,
group
but
in
it
a
is
sense.
also America, which is like the center of cancel culture, right? So
But Gauri, he lost it. He just lost it. I think it
I
was an
know,
impulse he
I
couldn't
know.
take back. He
Yeah.
may have always felt angry, but he would not.
You think
I'm sure
he wanted to change his mind halfway up the stage, but then it was
I
too
think
late to go
after,
back.
but
I think he
the
got
abusing
angrier
after that,
after the slap. Yeah,
yeah,
he
it
got
took a little
angrier
while for
after.
the
Yeah.
Diwani to leave the body,
Hmm.
so to speak. Yeah, because that was like talking to a child, like two kids in a
Yeah.
playground. Don't you ever, it was like Arnab.
I just,
It was like an
I
American
just, I
Arnab.
just can't get over the fact that Chris Rock took it like a boss, man. Like he didn't
What do you want to
flinch.
do, Silverie?
He did,
Yeah, what
Punch
would
him
he
back
have?
in the
What could he
but
do?
I don't know. He
before.
could have like fought back something. I would have at least like roughed up the other person, like called
On live
security.
That's why you're
television,
not
on
being
Let me
You've been beaten up 5
something.
times on the podcast. Those 3 guys beat you up with the
I
outside
know,
for
I
life,
know.
nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get
But I
caught
didn't.
despite
I
the
didn't take
slight,
it like
you
that.
just get
I
caught
started
off
shouting
guard.
at them like, "What the fuck, guys? You can't just slap people. This is not done." I said
he was
something.
so he was so shook. You can see he
He was
takes a
so-
pause and then
I
he
think
says
he was
that
hurt. It's
greatest
more than
lie-
being
greatest
angry.
This is why,
Dude,
this is
he
why
hardly even-
you're, this is
Dude,
why
he
you're
did- he
85th
slapped- he
in
got
the
slapped.
line to be a host in the Oscars.
Oh, wow, but I'm on the line. 100 top
And
people.
let me tell you,
That's a huge
Chris
thing for
Rock
me,
is a
man.
practicing Christian.
In Asia,
And he
only in
was trying
Asia.
to turn
100
the
top. Okay.
other cheek immediately, which is really sweet of him. I wish more
that
people
would
would do
be
that.
as Kajol tweeted today morning. That would be Christ Rock if he had to turn the other cheek.
Well, he's more wrong.
Nobody
Than,
slap us for that.
he's more wrong than wrong now, as far as I'm concerned, because of the.
I didn't say that. Kajol tweeted it.
Kajol, I tell you, that woman just says what she wants. We can't control her. Kajol, we love you. Stay where you are. Don't get angry with me.
Okay, Cyrus, we have one more topic, very interesting topic to discuss.
We've had no topics. One award
We've
which
had all
Gauri has
topics
won,
only.
and the Oscar
2 award
fiasco.
stories.
So what topic are you talking?
Yeah.
You're talking like
And then
it's
the
not
10-minute
penicillin or
delivery.
something that we're discussing. It's just this.
They talked about
I mean,
Zomato 10-minute
Antariksh,
delivery.
did you
also.
order something at the beginning of the show or not? Did you place your order
from-
on the beginning of the show?
Wait. Yeah, I did from the table only, and it's late,
Was
Gauri.
it-
What is this?
Oh!
This is not common.
Hey, Gauri.
We should
That
make
is
use of
so-
10-minute delivery from Zomato.
I want to ask you. So, do these awards help business? Now that we're talking
Yeah,
about it,
man,
do
of
people
course.
because yours
Okay,
is a
so
high-end
think
restaurant?
about it. If you go abroad, if you go anywhere abroad where you've never
Correct.
been
Yeah, yeah,
before,
you
and you
do
don't know
research.
anyone local there, what
Correct,
do you do,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there are
So
enough
for the
people
foreign
coming to
clientele,
India
but
who-
also, yeah, possible. So will there be more branches now? And will that be like multiplication
No,
of
man.
tables in a sense?
I'm ready to retire, dude.
Sorry, Abbas. I had to wait to find my way into that one. You're ready to retire. This is not the Padma Shri. There's a long way to go.
Can we run an
Are you
exclusive
telling
at the
Antariksh
bottom?
for me?
Gauri, I only want to talk to you.
I'm-
These Laurel and
Oh.
Hardy actors going on in the background. No, I mean, come on, for God's sake. Really.
No,
I mean, he's
ain't
still
ready
crying
to.
about the 10 minutes. Silverie wants to.
Yeah.
He wants to defend.
He's
For
following
him,
up.
this is.
He's put himself on mute so he can check with the rider where he is.
No, I'm right here. Yeah, correct.
But did you order
Uh,
the popular dish, Antariksh? Because otherwise there's no use.
Yeah, as you said, only biryani comes in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
And biryani,
Standing
burger.
with-
Things
with
are
piles of
ready,
biryani.
like easier to keep ready. Like are always
I'm
ordered
going
in
to start
mass
doing
or-
biryani at the table, dude.
You don't do biryani at the table?
No, but I'm going to start. If it
Oh,
means
it's
I
great
can
that you're
deliver it in
getting.
10 minutes.
It's great that you're getting menu items from our show. It's like
Yeah.
to the table menu.
Thanks. I need to come on more often.
Gauri, now that we've got you here, and as an aside, before we go into the topic of the day, I wanted to ask you, so PILAF, pilaf. So is that
Oh
pilaf
my
or pilau?
God.
How does that work? Some of these, when I see them on paper, they throw me a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out what's the
Oh no,
genesis.
Cyrus, you're frozen. I can't see you. I can't hear you.
How many women have said the same thing? Can't see you, can't hear you, and then they celebrate. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Silverie,
Okay.
over to you and your bloody
Okay,
topic. It
yes.
must be so grand. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
go
a
on
great
to the
topic
of the
to
day.
discuss with a restaurateur. Discuss
Yeah.
with a restaurateur
Oh,
like
God.
Gauri.
Where you
Restaurant.
pronounce the T. There's no T.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Restaurant.
Ate 3 times now. Yeah.
Okay. So we all know Persian Darbar, very popular Mumbai restaurant, right? But didn't make it to Asia top 50 list. You just have to say. Or we don't know.
Top
We don't know. Maybe
100.
they make it to top
No,
50
they were
and not
they were
top
they were
100.
confused. Should we include that in Persia or in India?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh
cool.
my
This is the
God.
standard of humor that doesn't get us slapped.
Sure,
You get it, Gauri?
sure, dude. Sure.
There's no slap involved here.
Are we the only 4 people listening to the show, by the way?
Yes.
I'm not listening.
No,
There
we
are
have-
3. I'm actually
Yeah.
watching something.
We got 3 more listeners when we start discussing this topic. So let's go ahead, I think.
They're eating at Persian
Persian
Darbar.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
Yeah,
their
I mean,
order.
oh,
10 minutes have passed. They're in the restaurant. Go on.
So Persian Darbar got basically an extortion call this past weekend saying ke you have to
मुझे 1
give us
किलो
2
बिरयानी
crores.
चाहिए नहीं तो
हफ्ता- yeah.
वो भी 10 minute में.
10 minute में.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be that's a
Yes.
great sitcom. Somebody write this story. Yeah, go on.
So extortion call of 2 crores और अगर नहीं दिया तो like we want 2 crores a hafta or they threatened to kidnap his children and wife.
But Sachin Wazi is
they
behind
also like
bars.
intimidated.
So who called?
Exactly. So that's another question that I want to get to.
Antariksh, pull
That's
out
all
the
this-
script. We
Anil
know you have
Deshmukh-
it.
Yes. Anil Deshmukh is no longer in office. Sachin Vase is behind bars and being investigated. Ex-Commissioner Paramveer Singh has been shifted to the naval docks and all. So who is asking for these extortions?
That only
is,
leaves Cyrus.
Yes, that's only leaves.
I love Persian Darbar.
The restaurant,
What are you saying, Gauri?
Great.
I know table is great and all that, but these are I grew up on these restaurants. I'm not with the
Yeah.
Baikala one, of course, but also Bandra we used to go to quite often. The Ran is spectacular. The biryani is
I agree.
special.
The biryani
yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, so I would never extort all
Ran
these.
biryani
These,
is great,
these are the happy memories of Bombay, all the lovely restaurants we grew up with. And I'd be very upset if somebody extorted money from them. They have to pay GST,
And Cyrus,
VAT, they have to pay tips,
Your-
they have to deal with
your
as you
favorite-
know, horrible people.
your
Yeah.
favorite branch only, the Bandra branch only got this call. The call
Yeah.
was picked up by the cashier and it was told ke. So I don't know.
But-
I don't
Well,
know.
they,
whether
they
thought-
directly
The
they
cashier-
directly went to the cashier. They're like, we
Yeah,
don't want
yes.
to mess around.
Cash though, correct.
But did the cashier try to push the biryani also and say, "Acha, wo theek hai, magar we have a-"
Maybe. अच्छा पर 10 मिनट बिरयानी का ये ऑफर चल रहा है चाहिए
So,
क्या?
you know,
Uh,
I thought these
but
days have
Gauri-
gone, where the extortions used to
exactly.
happen so often. Restaurants, builders, filmmakers, all these. I
but
thought
more
it
and
was
more
sort of
stories
died
come
down.
out that is still very rampant.
It must be
I
the
would say, right?
government then, because the gangsters have sort of disappeared. So who could it be?
Who
Other
Gauri,
than-
has this
It-
ever happened with any of your restaurants by any chance? Because
the
it did
second-
happen. Like Amita shared this. No, Amita shared this on
Firstly,
our podcast about
Gauri,
when our office was being
despite her
built.
surname, can only speak
Yeah.
English
You know,
and French.
I just got
So how's she
the
gonna
award
deal
like
with this
5
gangster
minutes
who calls
ago.
her? Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Bolo
got the
Gauri.
award 5 minutes ago. I don't intend to lose it or have it confiscated because of your
No,
random questions about
and-
extortion.
Also, they
Antariksh,
should
what
do
was
the
the story
research
that
now.
Amit shared?
So Amit
what
has
was
shared
the
on the
story?
podcast that so we are in the new IVM office right now,
Right.
and when this office was being made, right, we had someone who came in and started stopping all
Correct.
the work
Yeah,
and
yeah,
started
yeah,
making commotion and saying ke, basically implying for hafta only.
he
And
would not let the
that
work go
is a
on.
given at any place in Bombay.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so he wouldn't let the work go on
Yeah.
until he was paid off, basically.
yeah, but exactly. So then I
This
think
is a bit like our
if I'm not
podcast.
wrong, yeah,
It's good
As
to
they
know
say,
that
right?
off.
This is
the
the
off the guest.
unease.
Did
This is
Amit
the
offer him a
unease of
show?
doing business.
And today Utsav is one of our
Cyrus
best.
says.
A funny story of the origin of this
You can't
podcast.
beat him, join him. Yeah. But here's the question. Are they worth that kind of money? I mean, they're basically
Of
a Mumbai
course.
sort of...
Like you
Because
said, they're one of the
obviously,
cornerstone of.
But ask
cornerstones of-
Gauri, how much money could they have made in the pandemic and all that? Yeah, come on. That's 2 bad years.
I mean,
For you're just about surviving. Where are you going to dip in and put 2 crores on the table? The extortionist should also study the market and see who can
Okay,
sort
first
of
of
pay.
all,
Right?
that was the starting number. There's a whole room for negotiation here. So, but of
Oh.
course, yeah.
Okay. It looks like you've done this before, Gauri.
Utsav is in the
Utsav.
comments. So it's-
Utsav Mamoria is in the chat and he has said, I just tuned in and Cyrus made a joke on me.
well, Utsav, you shouldn't have asked for hafta in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just remember that picture, where we've not featured Gauri in the list of in the break, where Gauri was not featured for some reason. In that list, Utsav and Kajal were there in a picture with me, and all of us had these strange expressions. Will you please stop making people make strange expressions and put them on a photograph? They look just Stupid.
No, I'll tell you
If
how
that's
that
trying to
happens
make me feel
because
better, it's not Cyrus.
But you would never do that. You're a classy act. You would not do that. But three of us, she's got a thumb up and she's a lovely girl. I wish you wouldn't do that. And he's got
they
some
make
strange
us
finger on his lip. And what is this?
because
Clear
they
rules
make
at
us
a birthday
stand
party.
against the wall. They make us stand against the wall, and he keeps clicking, and he's like, "Now make funny expressions."
Yeah.
And it's like, how many funny expressions
Abbas,
can one come up
forget
with?
that. When I go to a wedding, some photographer sort of half recognizes you and says, "Oh, kuch funny karo." I'm like, what the hell? You're frustrated shooting these monkeys for 6 hours, and now I have to go pull faces for you because you're bored. It's just unfair. It's really wrong with these people.
Can I just say
that?
that? I was just gonna say that moment has been captured on camera of Will Smith slapping him. Like, give that guy a Pulitzer for capturing that precise
The actual
moment.
slap contact moment has been
Yes.
captured. Wow.
No, just the
No, just
second after
before contact. That's
No,
the
then he
whole.
doesn't
That's
get the
what's being
Pulitzer.
used for all
No
the
Pulitzer.
memes.
No, because then he could have stopped. I need to see contact.
Guys,
Maybe he can
the
do it again.
Pulitzer's for writing. For
And
starters.
photography also. I'll
Oh,
double check.
okay.
that. Oh, yeah,
Somebody
I think
double
so,
check.
yeah.
Pulitzers you get for photography as well? Only for writing? Wow, bloody comedians do no research. They have no idea. We're still trying to figure out if Pulitzer should be pronounced with the R at the end or Pulitzer. Pulitzer? Silverie,
So
क्या topic hai?
speaking of Pulitzer, is the Pulitzer of Mumbai involved with this now?
Wow,
Nice.
Gauri, Gauri,
Yes.
Gauri.
Can we
Oh, very nice.
can we
Brought
just
it
have
down.
Gauri for the
Boys, we brought it
segues?
down to our level.
Yeah.
We broke in our spirit.
Yes. Yes, the Mumbai Pulitzer are involved in investigating this.
Oh,
Crime.
shoot.
The crime branch also.
The four giggling schoolgirls. That's what we are. All right.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy. If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Let's get the emails.
Okay.
Yeah.
The EMAs? Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
All right. Firstly, belated happy birthday, Abbas. Balaji has
Hey,
said.
thank
Have
you
a
so
great year ahead.
much. Thank
I
you
missed
very
it.
much.
When was
It
it?
was
Yeah, you did,
yesterday.
And last year, when was it? Okay. Yesterday.
It's on the
Yesterday,
same
what-
day every year, Cyrus.
I know. I'm trying to
Well,
remember the
same as
day. What day?
Last 5 years, it's the
25th,
second one.
26th,
27th,
Areva.
27 March.
I'm flattered.
Excellent. Well done. I don't have any friends in March.
which is also World Theatre Day, which is why I was at the NCPA
Yes.
yesterday. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, and
Because they
tomorrow is
missed the
Vinay's.
theatre.
Tomorrow is
nice.
Vinay's
Oh, one
birthday.
second. This is not a personal show, okay? Everybody says you're talking about relatives and friends. And for 1
it
hour, you wish
is.
happy birthday to 8 people that
But
nobody knows.
he's a producer of
Vinay
the show.
has
He's
to
part of the
learn
show.
that he is the behind the throne
Nobody
now.
knows.
It's ridiculous. It's Lalit's birthday tomorrow. Come on, guys. Do you know who he is? What? I mean, really. All because of Abbas and his vanity. 27
I know, right?
Yeah, I
March.
know.
Yeah.
That
How old
World
Abbas?
Theatre. 34.
Oh, World.
birthday.
34.
Yes.
34.
Why are you shocked?
No wife, no kids,
No.
and living
That's
with
why I'm not
parents.
slapping anyone.
It's the Indian story. I love it.
And balding.
Bald,
That
balded.
bichara, that's the only thing that he can't blame on himself. that he gets a pass. Yeah.
Everybody just put in your birthdays.
They're on
Oh,
the
by
right
the way,
show.
Cyrus and my mother share a birthday, 7th of August.
But I'm not your.
No, I don't think so. We hadn't checked, Cyrus.
I know I've overdeveloped pecs, but hey, come on, for God's sake. No disrespect to mom. I don't want any slaps. Yeah, 7th August, Wakar Yunus, Greg Chappell. I have quite a few people.
Oh,
Ranjana Panikar
okay.
in my class. So I always had to bring nothing because her dad was head of Hindustan Levers. So the cake that they would bring was the size of the school. And my mother would send those boiled sweets in a small bag, those 5 paisa orange sweets, So I would have the Garibo birthday, but then she would be sweet and allow me to be part of the cake. And so that was like my cake as well. And Indian girls are fantastic, Gauri. They're always far more generous, I feel, than they should be. Really. I only say
You're
kind
right,
words,
right.
Aisha.
Correct.
Gauri from Table, they won an award. They ranked 85th in the world.
Are you just going to repeat the whole show now?
She's saying, ask her for a contract. She
Will
wants to
Smith.
work.
Will Smith slapped Chris Rock today.
Contractor. She wants your contract. So now it's a personal show. It's your contractor's number. We need to do some work. All right.
Also,
I'm
Arpit
not lying.
Bansal also shared with us that his birthday is also tomorrow. So happy birthday, Arpit. Also.
अभी अब सबका कल ही हो रहा है. It's a
Will
little
Smith, I need your
now.
hand.
Hey, now gone. Arpit
Uh,
was
Aha,
gone. Okay.
31st Feb.
31st Feb.
some smart
Yeah,
asses in the comments.
28
Yeah.
days ago. Happy birthday.
And now people are cross-cutting
Okay.
each other and leaving
Yeah.
us out.
Yeah,
Just
leaving us-
talking. We're of no consequence.
Nice. Okay, let's go. This first AMA question comes in from Aditya Sharda, who says AMA for Gauri. He says, just read about a new rule for high-end restaurants where they have to disclose all ingredients below the dish on the menu itself. Won't this kill the secret ingredient vibe? Is this true, Gauri? Is this a new rule?
Why for high end and
I
not for
haven't
low
heard
end?
of this, but I've heard
That's real
about
discrimination.
there being a different tax for the toppings on the pizza and the pizza itself.
Yeah, which
So
is
I don't
so
know.
weird.
Yeah.
I want to bring a class
is
issue into
so
this whole
weird.
thing, which is, and I don't want to sound classist, but wouldn't you be more worried in the low end restaurant for what they're putting in than so much in the high end restaurant?
Well, you
Because
can
we all
write
know what the
whatever you
secret
want.
ingredient in
So
low end
also
is.
what-
Exactly.
To that point, right? So what happens to like so there is an outlet called 1441 Pizzeria, which I really love. Okay, they are like kind of like Subway for pizza, where you go and then you can like put your own number of toppings
Mix
on
and
it.
match. Mix and
Mhm.
match.
Yeah, exactly. So and they'll make it in front of you, which is like a cool concept for a pizzeria. And so how does
No,
that
it's
affect
not.
them
It's
now?
what
Because
every
their model.
pizzeria does, Antariksh.
No,
Every
but like
pizzeria
they show it
makes
to you.
in front
They
of
show it to you, and you can like put it on.
You
they
mean
can,
like the
do it
Seinfeld
in front of
episode
you.
where he
They'll
gave
assemble it in
Nick
front of
a
you.
pizza?
So I mean
Like
the same
tomato
holds for
riders
Subway.
gonna
Subway,
do
right?
now outside your door when you order a pizza.
They know. They just bring the pita bread and leave the rest to you. It's like that.
Yeah.
No, so here's the thing, right,
It'll be like-
Antariksh? You order a whatever roasted chicken sub at Subway. They're not telling you how they prepared the roasted chicken preparation, right? They're just making it in front of
Just
you.
making the and telling you the final price.
Yeah.
So what was the exciting thing though about the other than the fact that it's made in front of you? Like
I think it's fair to say
what-
we've lost
No.
interest in the
So it's
question.
like each
Yeah.
topping will be charged differently, right? Each topping will be
Will you
charged.
stop it? You're like an
Yes.
accountant.
toppings are always
Nobody cares.
charged differently. 1 second, the toppings are always charged differently. The issue is that they're now going to be taxed differently.
Taxed differently. Yeah, that's
Yes.
what. So
Yeah,
won't it be
they were
super
always
confusing?
charged
Okay,
differently. It's like if you order chicken, you're not
Yeah.
going to get charged the same as like
That's true.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're right. Yes,
The
correct.
consumer sucks in the end of the day
Basil.
because they'll just charge more. That's the bottom line.
Is
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
paisa vaisa? I was on Cyrus's.
Our show is like a bastardized show of everything else because we got no substance of our own. We just borrow, mix and match, do our thing like the pizzas at 144. Will they give us a free pizza if we keep mentioning the name, Silverie? You know, I think
Maybe,
one.
Fair enough.
hopefully. Let's see. Let's see. We can try
Alright.
it.
Next one.
Okay. Rohit Atre has asked Chris Rock versus Ricky Gervais, your favorite foreign
Ricky Gervais.
award show host. I would say
100%
also
Ricky Gervais for me.
He just the swings he makes, man, are amazing.
Yeah.
I would say
Great.
award host Ricky Gervais, but comedian overall, I'd prefer Chris Rock.
Chris
no,
Rock,
Ricky
sure.
Gervais.
But dude, Chris Rock only for like his initial specials. Like the
No,
last special
even-
was okay only.
I thought it was really good. I really
Yeah?
like Chris Rock. Yeah.
Okay.
Gauri,
Like,
please
I
help
love
me.
the
Ricky
Bigger and
Gervais
Blacker
is
and
far
Bring
and
the
away
Pain.
ahead.
And even Kill the Messenger was great.
inclusivity
Yeah.
inclusivity has taken care of that one. So
Okay.
Nobody wants
Okay,
to
let's
challenge
moving
that.
on.
We'll leave it there.
Uh,
Don't worry, we'll get slapped. Okay.
Okay.
I think you need to get
Uh,
an Indian comedian out there.
I mean, Veer
They
Das
had-
is doing that.
Veer,
right?
Veer is right now, yeah. He's
Yeah.
coming up.
He's in the
Yeah,
next
no,
Judd
no,
At the
Apatow film.
Oscars.
And then
He
somebody
is
will make
in-
a midget joke and he'll get offended and slap them and this thing will
No,
never
but
end.
we've aced Manikchand Filmfare Awards. Why go to the Oscars?
That's true.
True.
But we've not. Have we ever had a slap or something like that? I don't
No, so
think.
people compared this to a spat that
Shah
Sajid
Rukh
Khan
and
and
Nitin.
no,
Kangana had.
Sajid Khan and Ashutosh Gwarikar had at some award show. I think
Yes,
it was a
correct.
Star Screen
Yes.
Award.
Somebody slapped
Yeah.
someone.
No, and I heard about Shah
No,
Rukh
no.
Khan and Neel Nitin Mukesh because he said his name was so
Ooh.
long and then he got really
Oh,
offended by
I don't know
that.
if you know this, but Nitish Kumar just got slapped at an event.
The politician.
2
But
days
that's
back.
an
The
everyday
politician.
thing.
No, the actor. Babas.
The actor Nitish Kumar.
Struggling
Oh, this
now.
was
in
caught on
acting.
camera. You guys can look this up. It was caught on camera.
I think
that Nitish
Kejriwal has
Kumar
got
is-
slapped like that. There have been people who
Kejriwal had an egg
slippers,
thrown at him.
egg,
and ink.
chappal. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
George Bush had a chappal thrown at him in Iraq,
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
not
correct.
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
dodged it, and he was very
Eggs,
excited.
Australian
He
Scott
dodged it.
Morrison has an egg thrown at him. There's a lot of that as well. Indian politicians is damn tough. to
Ronaldo
think
should
of them
have-
because of, the
Coke
people
bottle thrown
around.
at him would be hilarious.
But if you're a vegetarian Indian politician, if I throw meat at you, is it like doubly worse? Like
You're not
or egg
eating it,
tomato?
right?
That's
Huh?
it's
Let's
Let's
probably
be
a hate crime.
specific,
Yeah.
Abbas. Name a veg politician. You throw something
That's
leathery
what the
on.
that's what the Zomato guy does when he can't reach on time. He just throws the food at you.
And is it a bailable offense? And does he go straight to Madhya Pradesh? What's the houses bounce the whole thing? Yeah.
I have no
Okay.
idea.
Next one.
All right. Tarun Kaushik says that this is for Gauri and others, but Gauri specifically says, "What is
Why
your
mention
opinion
other?
on?"
No, you brought it down.
I don't know.
I'm
He just
giving us
did.
so much
He just
wow.
did. I'm just saying he did.
It's
I
for
can't.
Gauri then.
Gauri and others,
Inclusivity.
I stand
Yeah.
corrected.
What is your opinion on regular consumption of restaurant food? There's a belief that restaurant style food is not very healthy as an option. Why is that?
Because it costs money.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and also like, do you really go to a restaurant to like then deprive yourself of all the goodness out
But
there?
you can eat healthy in every restaurant now.
Like,
At least your
do you?
restaurant
I
for
mean,
sure, I'm sure.
Of course you
There's a way
can,
to-
but like, I mean, you normally go out to celebrate, to indulge, to kind of, it's
Or avoid your family.
yeah, I don't know.
There's
I mean, I don't
clear
I don't
reasons.
think that
That's
I
indulging
don't
only,
think
Cyrus.
there are restaurants.
I don't mean your family. I mean my family.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go
where,
on.
no, I mean, I think every restaurant has options for everyone, and if you're looking for something healthy, go somewhere that focuses on that. And if you're not, then
Like-
if you're not sort of
I was in Cal and I just mentioned of course, it's a 5-star, so they really treat you really well generally in India. I mentioned the problem of, the blood sugar level, etc. So I need to eat multigrain. Everything was brought in 2 minutes. I got jam, honey, all the diabetic options, all tasty and nice. So I think where they're selling the product or where you're paying for it, I think a good host goes out of their way to make the customer feel okay. So there's always a way to please everybody.
every restaurant does have, now we factor in gluten-free and vegan and, I was going to say Jain, but then I just restrained myself as sort of not
Depends on how
necessarily
you
a
spell
healthy
it.
category, but it's, but yeah.
We don't need Gauri
But
on this show.
anyway.
We can get ourselves on our own. What the hell? Huh.
Oh, Shoaib
So,
Bakshi has said Harbhajan slapped Srishant, and yeah, he's right about that.
How is that a question?
He
Gauri
said,
was a
he
bit of
said,
a
I said, he
monologue.
said.
And now you want to
Sorry,
segue back
go
to
ahead.
Harbhajan slapping Srishant.
No.
It's like
Sorry, go ahead.
this is
go
like the birthday greetings. For 45 minutes, these guys are going to go on about some old slap date from the 50s. Oh.
Sorry, just yeah.
No, I'm done. I think
Gauri's done.
basically, yeah.
Can I give my short take on this?
It must be very
Yes,
short. Huh?
Please.
No, I think the way the question was framed, right? The eating out is not a healthy thing. I think it stems from the middle class sort of mentality that
Yeah.
we have, that spending money outside doing anything is you not being morally correct. So it's not like you're gonna go out and eat out every day. So if you go out once in a while to eat,
But
there's
Abbas,
nothing
there's a little
wrong
bit
with
more
that.
to the stigmas. Things like oily food. Restaurant food is oily. Restaurant
No,
food is
but
more.
Cyrus, the thing is, as children, your mother like तू रोज बाहर खाना खाएगा, फिर बाद में सिगरेट पीने लगेगा, ये करने लगेगा.
Have you heard
So
my
there's
mother
a
speak Hindi?
direct line.
She tells the person, hello, sir, आप पीछे phone करो. As in call behind.
I know, yeah.
So my mom is different. Yeah.
So yeah,
But-
I mean, it's just
No,
that.
I would like to say here that if I had the money and resources, I would eat out every day. I have no problem with the idea. I think it's fantastic. When I was in Singapore working there for a couple of weeks, I remember in the late 90s for MTV, every meal was outside and it was the best part of my life. I can't tell
Yeah,
you.
and look
Every
at you
single
now. You're
meal.
so healthy. So
Yeah.
that just proves it. Yeah.
I'm dying well before my genetics. Yeah, true. Okay, shall we do one last one?
Alright.
Because Gauri has to go and serve at the table. She's one of
Alright,
those
sure.
owners at the restaurants who likes to be seen.
Not serve, I have to go and cook.
You cook yourself? I thought your husband is the cook,
No,
the
I'm
chef.
joking.
Joking.
But isn't he the chef? Like the main guy behind the
No.
cooking?
We
What?
would have lasted about 11 days, not 11 years.
Okay, go on. Last one.
Okay. All right, Girish Patil, this is again in reference to the Chris Rock and Will Smith thing only that happened. He says they muted that entire segment of Chris Rock here in the US, and I thought, what's wrong with the telecast? India is so much better. Then I realized this mess was caused by Smith. But do you think they should have muted this segment at all? There's no need to mute it.
I
You
mean,
can
he
still see
used
the
the F
slap. I
word
mean,
twice.
we're just muting
Smith
it.
used the F word twice when he went back and yelled at.
I mean, just
her.
beep that word then.
No, they
But
went.
why are you hiding the best part of the telecast?
They went into a blackout very quickly. It's possible that the rest of the world feed is different,
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
we got
yeah.
to see a sort of empty stage now for some time. But biggest problem in India is the North Indian channels all can't say Smith. They say Smith. So the whole thing is a little irritating for me to listen to again and again.
Will
Will
E.
Smith, दुनिया की बेहतरीन artist or actor, and I'm just on the screaming and shout. Do you watch Hindi channels for entertainment?
Willie Smith or Chris Rock.
Willie Smith. He's like a porn star from UP. Here. Introducing our पेश करते हैं the one and only multi-dimensional Willie Smith.
They'll never be able to say Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada.
Gauri, I think Devidayal is from UP. Is it not? Of course it is. So we're insulting her forefathers, the land of her forefathers. How dare you?
I'm also from UP. That's fine, huh?
Yeah.
Slap yourself.
You just insulted everything while I was frozen. Did you just freeze me for that reason? Did you just like switch off my internet? While
Let's say that.
We had the power.
Yes.
We had the power to do that to so many internet options around the world. Yeah.
You just pulled an Oscars on the show.
God, I'm sure this is going to happen. People slapping now because sad to say, with suicide it happens. The copycat thing with murder it happens. This is going to happen at functions, building functions.
So, you're right. So Will Smith in his speech, right? He did say that he apologized and all. So
he didn't apologize to Chris Rock. Though,
he apologized to the Oscars.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, he apologized to the Oscars because I think he was like, hey, what if now I don't get nominated in the future?
No,
but I'm like, no. They will nominate him just for this so that he comes again and slaps more people.
But Silverie, Abbas's point is very well made. The one thing he should have done really is apologize to Chris Rock. That he didn't do. What's the point of apologizing to the fraternity and all that? I didn't get that at all.
That's exactly,
But he didn't apologize. That was the whole point.
He did. He said...
he apologized to the Oscars. I would like to apologize to the Oscars.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say Chris Rock by name. Yeah.
My peers. He used the word peers. So, poor Chris Rock. And then he took names. I would like to, John, Joseph, Roger, Hilton. And then he just stopped.
That's any other name.
Chris just didn't come on. Yeah. Still going on. Name calling.
Yeah. He said Christian Bale also. That's everything else.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
It's Gauri in darkness. It's not a metaphor, but...
It's post 7
I know.
PM.
I think I have to switch my lights on, but I can't.
For a leading restaurant who's won awards left, right, and center, you don't have a bulb?
No. I have to get up. Can I get up and leave in the middle?
No. We're done. Don't worry. We have to eat dinner. I sleep by 8. Okay. Congratulations once again, co-founder.
Hey, you have to have your dinner.
If
you have to have your dinner by 8, you should order at 7:50, Cyrus.
But my ordering is Nirmala. That's it. Okay. It'll be ready in a minute. Because ours
he eats 2-minute Maggi noodles. It'll come in 2 minutes.
No, I just want to show people what an egalitarian society looks like. Hey, jaldi kar! And that's how you keep people happy.
Suddenly,
you're going to get slapped by Aisha now, right? You're going to get so hard slapped by her.
Separate bedrooms, the secret of a happy marriage. Will Smith.
You were asking. You're asking at what point news anchor should be slapped. Cyrus, I just answered that question. I think. Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
It was going well, Antariksh. It was going well.
We don't have Gauri. We have somebody in darkness which is like a voice. It looks like a third world ham radio setup. With us trying to get to our people in Ukraine. What's going on? Okay.
Okay, but I just want because it's Earth Hour.
Oh.
What are we going to talk about? Earth Hour?
Wasn't that also yesterday?
You talk about Earth Hour.
Isn't that an amazing segue, by the way?
Okay, I think now we have to a little bit.
Can we just 3 of us disappear and she goes on talking? I think that way will work.
So Earth Hour, guys.
And it just fades into darkness.
What's
one hour
with Earth?
in a year.
That's it. Next 23 hours is all about Earth.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
We face 100 dilemmas every day while raising our children and nurturing our families. Why not let science help us make informed decisions to solve our dilemmas? Hi, I'm Devi Shobha.
And I'm Meghna. We host Big Talk About Tiny Humans, where we will help you unpack challenges around parenting and your child's development.
And more importantly, we will equip you with research-backed strategies that you can readily act on.
Tune in to our podcast every Wednesday on the IBM Podcasts app, website, or your favorite podcast platforms.
Ladies, I'm sure you will relate to it if I say that we are constantly busy with work, studies, cooking, and what not. And amidst all of this, we often forget an important element that needs our desperate attention: finance. So here we are, bringing to you SBI Life Presents A Sip of Finance, a women-exclusive podcast where we will teach you how to manage personal finances in a simple and straightforward way with your host, Priyanka Acharya, a finance expert who's been in the industry for 14 plus years. And not just in English, but in 7 more languages. So tune in every Tuesday for fresh episodes on the IVM Podcast Network and all major podcast streaming platforms.